Hey Tina, it's Kevin McQuiston. You had sent me a message asking about stories about your dad, and I didn't feel like I could really adequately convey what he meant to me as my friend, and um, and what a great soul he was, and how much he loved you. Um, Tom Schwarzman called everybody beans. Um, the more Coors Light he drank, the more he called you beans. He'd just be like, beans, beans. Um, we we went to a fishing show one time, and he just got hammered. He had started drinking before I picked him up in the morning. I think he'd had maybe like a 6 pack at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and we drove to God knows where, Maryland or something, to go to a fishing boat show. His dream, we had like this little secret dream that he and I were gonna move either to the Outer Banks, or somewhere like where I live now down in Myrtle Beach, and open a little fishing shop, a little bait shop, and have little charters out of there, and that was his dream. Nothing would have made him happier if we had bought a fishing boat and just and lived there. Um, he really he loved that. You couldn't have asked for two more different fishing partners than your dad and myself. It was like um, grizzled combat vet Teddy Roosevelt and like Metro guy with my fly fishing gear, and we adored each other. I mean, we absolutely loved each other in that bromance kind of way. We were so completely different, and yet we just respected and loved each other so much. Um, so we're at this fishing show. He's hammered. Unbeknownst to me, we get separated, and he goes and not only drinks more beer, he decides to have some Jack Daniels shots. And your dad did not handle Jack Daniels well at all. It was pretty funny. Um, and as we're leaving the show, I'm kind of leading him out and shuttling him along. There's a couple guys in front of us as we're walking across the parking lot, and your dad wants to like make contact, make friends, and he goes beans, and they keep walking. He's like beans, and they keep walking. They don't realize he's like shouting at them from like 10 feet away. He's beans. I'm like, Tom, they don't know what beans means, you know. What's up, beans? And he's shouting. Finally, one of them turns around. He's like, beans. And still no idea like what it means. Um, your dad and I, whenever we hung out, it always wound up that he would start talking about you. And Gene, I gotta tell you, like his biggest regret ever was not reconnecting with you sooner. I think he felt like he'd really just dropped the ball as your dad, but he was so proud of you and loved you so much, and he just every time we were together, it was always about how he felt he'd failed you and how much he loved you and how he wished he could make it up. And reconnecting with you was like such a huge thing to him. He was so happy about that, and he was so pleased that you wanted to be in his life, you know, and he wanted so much to be the dad that he felt like he should be, and I'm sure you feel like he is and was, and um, my dad passed last year, and I know my dad never felt like he was the father that he should have been, but he was great. He was great for me, you know. Um, he loved you so much, and he talked about you all the time. Your dad, as much anger and fear as he carried from his time in the war, as much as it kind of defined him in the life he led. You were the best thing that ever happened to him, he said. You, he would always say you were the best thing about him. And that's a pretty great thing. And he was a good man. He liked me right from the get go, and we are so completely different that there was no reason that he should have. But he was the kind of guy that I think maybe 2 weeks into knowing him, he would have gone into combat with me, and just he would have had my back no matter what. And I think he felt that way. I think even when you guys weren't talking, I think he felt like he always had your back. You could always count on him. And he loved you so much. He loved you so much. And I miss him. I live on a sailboat in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, and not a day goes by I see a fishing boat. A lot of fishing boats down here, and people like myself on the water, living on the water, and making my living playing music. And your dad would have loved it. Your dad just would have loved it here. So, um, congratulations on all the baby and the being engaged. And if you need anything, you give me a holler, okay? And I look forward to seeing you. Um, he's your father was a big impact on me, and he loved you very, very much.